upcoming Brides March in Northampton is a memorial walk against domestic violence, and you can get involved. Marianne Winters is here to tell us how we can get all gussied up for a great cause. Marianne, great to have you here.
Great to be here, thank you.
Now, this Brides March, we talk about women in wedding dresses and people dressed in black. What is this all about? How did it all begin?
Well, it began as a response to a tragedy, to a horrible homicide in New Jersey. A young woman, an immigrant woman named Gladys Ricart, was in an abusive relationship. After leaving the relationship, and she was about to marry a new man, her former abusive boyfriend came and murdered her in front of the other participants of the wedding. And so it really, for the people who were there, it really, the only reason was the old adage that, you know, if I can't have you, nobody will. And so women started with one march in New York City, and then it's really spread across the country, where to make the point that, you know, marriage is, you know, seen as a really happy thing, and sometimes we really need to be aware of healthy relationships, of how sometimes relationships end in this tragedy, and that domestic violence just needs to stop.
Right, and to know that there's help, and that's what these walks
Right.
are all about. That's why people do dress in such an extreme way for these, to raise awareness and let people know that there is help out there.
It really calls to mind that, you know, the contrast really reminds people, you know, of the
Yes,
to do something.
Absolutely. Now, Marianne, this has been taking place for a while. Now, is this the first time in Northampton, or has this been taking place for a while in Northampton as well?
It's been taking place in Northampton, you know, every few years, and in other locations around the state. There's one, I believe, in Boston. The murder itself happened, the date was September 26th, so a lot of times it happens toward the end of September, early October.
Yes, but it's good for people to know that you do exist. Safe Passage does exist to help them, and that they don't have to feel alone when they feel like they're suffering.
Yeah. We have counselors available 24 hours a day through our hotline. I believe it's going to be up on the screen.
Yes, it will.
You know, anybody can call, whether or not you have questions about, you know, what's going on in your relationship. You just want to talk it through with somebody. You're concerned about a neighbor, a friend, a family member. You know, it's really open to anybody to just talk. And there's no judgment. There's no advice or plan thing that you have to do. We listen. Sometimes we'll offer options. Sometimes we'll offer immediate safety. You know, there's things that people can do to think about how to increase their safety. We also have a shelter in Northampton, and we're part of a network around Massachusetts that has shelters all over. So we're really, you know, there. We work with about 500 people a year in various situations. So
in any situation, and they need to know that they don't have to stay that way. They don't have to stay in the situation they're in, that they can get out of it and have support along the way. Now, if people would like to come out and take part in the Brides March, how can they do that, Marianne?
It's next Friday, a week from today. The rally begins at 3 o'clock at Pulaski Park in Northampton. Most people know where that is. If they know Northampton, you can ask anybody if you don't. We'll be marching at about 3:30 and then coming back to the park for a closing ceremony. And, you know, it's really a dramatic expression of sort of outrage and hope, but also a time for the community to get together and support survivors.
Right, and obviously it is to do it in memory of this woman that suffered.
Yeah,
but
we think of Gladys, and we also think of other women who have died, you know, as a result of homicide by their abusive partners, and it just reminds us to work harder and to bring more people together to put an end to it.
Yes, well, it sounds like a wonderful event, Marianne. Thank you for being here, and now it's good for people to know too how they can get help if they need it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And to learn more about how you can get involved with Safe Passage, you can log on to mymassappeal.com and click on Community Appeal later on today.